Today's episode of the Bitcoin Show is brought to you by Mt. Gox, mtgox.com, and BitPay, bit-pay.com, and Meze Grill, M-E-Z-E grill.com, and cablesaurus.com, and bitbrew.net. Hey gang, and welcome to the Bitcoin Show, episode 36. So glad you're here. Today we're going to talk about this ongoing drama of mybitcoin.com. Obviously, people know what's going on with mybitcoin.com, and after 7 days of going into deep, dark hiding and absolutely incommunicado, they suddenly reappeared with a website explaining that, oh my gosh, we've been hacked. So, be that as it may, they have offered to return 49%, precisely 49% of your Bitcoins. But what you have to do is go and fill out a claim form. So, in this episode, I want to actually go through this process because it's very important that you do this. People are getting back 49% of their Bitcoin about 24 hours after they fill out this claim form. So I just want to do a real quick episode to teach you how to do this. It's very simple. What you do is go to mybitcoin.com, and as you can see on my screen here, mybitcoin.com now has a link at the top. If you want to show my screen, it says file your claims here. Okay, the top link says file your claims here, and if you see it right here, and all you do is click that. And then you're going to go to this thing. It's called, let me zoom in a little bit so you can see it better. It just says My Bitcoin Claim Form. And as you can see, it only asks for three things: username, password, and Bitcoin address. All right, so again, this is for my non-technical people. If you're already a technical and you're whatever, you know how to do this yourself. But you want to get your Bitcoins out of mybitcoin.com and you're not sure where to put them. Here's what I'm suggesting. There's a couple different sites. One is a fairly new e-wallet site called vBanco. I'll switch over to that and you can see it. vBanco is a trusted, I trust them for, if it's, as long as it's reasonable, like somewhere between pocket change that you would carry around and I don't know, maybe less than a month's income, I guess. Anyway, somewhere in there, I would say definitely they're trustworthy for at least that much. So vBanco is one site, and then Mt. Gox. Obviously, Mt. Gox is the market leader Bitcoin exchange site, and we're pretty familiar with that. So I'm going to just show you how to create, because in order to do your claim over here, you need a Bitcoin address. So if you don't have one and you're non-technical, I'm going to show you how to actually create one. If you go to vBanco, which by the way is V like Victor, I, B-A-N-K-O, vibanko.com. All right, that's what this is. Now, you see there's a login at the top, but it's super simple. You can actually just go down here to register, and I'm going to use the name My Bitcoin Claim at I'm creating a totally temporary email account just for demonstration purposes. Okay, Mailinator, I don't recommend you use that. And then password, obviously. You want to use a really long, secure password that doesn't spell anything and the numbers are not dates or anything like that. And actually, the email address goes in the bottom. And the username goes in the top. Okay, my Bitcoin claim, and I put in a password, a long secure password, and this email address, and I hit register. And there it is. Never save passwords in your browser. You know better. Use KeePassX. Look at the episode we've done in the past about KeePassX, and use long secure passwords. If you can remember your password, it's not a password. Okay? Good secure passwords cannot be remembered. All right, so anyway, basically that's it. You're registered. You see how easy that was? I literally put in a login name and a password and an email address, and I'm in. It says here, successfully registered. You see over here is my name on the left, my username. And then I scroll down, it says my balance, 0, of course. And then I have a unique deposit address. And withdraw is simply putting in an address and amount and hitting send. I mean, it couldn't be easier. So literally, if I double click on that unique deposit address, they call it, and I hit copy, right click on it and hit copy, and I go over here to the claim form and right click paste, and then I put in my actual username and password for my Bitcoin and hit file claim, I'm actually going to complete the claim. And that's how you would do it. It's as simple as that. You complete the claim form on mybitcoin.com. Now, before I do that, though, I want to show you another alternative besides vBanco is Mt. Gox. You may or may not already have a Mt. Gox account, but I'll show you how to do that. This is MTGOX, and let me zoom in a little bit so you can see. And then in the top right corner, I don't know if you can see that, you click sign up if you don't already have one. Super simple. Oops. Let's see. I'm calling it my Bitcoin claim. Is my username and password. Super, super long, secure password. Use KeePassX. Remember, we're not talking about email anymore. We're not talking about access to documents or something. We're talking about money. Okay? So I created this temporary little email address just for purposes of creating a new account to demonstrate. And boom. Okay, now Mt. Gox is a little bit more, one more step. There's a confirmation that they have. So I'm going over here. This is my, again, don't use Mailinator. This is just an example sample email address. Let's see. I guess I will get a confirmation eventually. But anyway, you get the idea. When I get a confirmation email, I'll click it and it'll automatically put in the confirmation code. Now, once I'm logged in to Mt. Gox, on the left-hand side over here, you see these menus. That's where you're going to have a button called Add Funds. And you simply click Add Funds and then scroll down and you will see a Bitcoin address. I don't see that email showing up anytime soon. I don't know. Anyway, you know how emails are. Well, anyway, that's the idea, okay? So you simply go over here and click Add Funds. You're going to get a Bitcoin address, and it's going to look just like this one that we got at vBanco. And again, you right-click copy on that Bitcoin address, and that'll be the address to add funds to your Mt. Gox account. Paste it in here. Make sure, hit the home key. If you hit the home key, it'll take you to the beginning. And make sure you see it begins with 1P89 in this case, ends in TM63. And just tab back over there, take one more look, 1P89 ends in M63. That's how I do it, to make sure that I really have the right address. I didn't accidentally put the wrong address from some clipboard from something else. And then I put in, whatever my user name was, and then whatever my password was, and I literally hit file claim, and that's it. Boom. Now it's going to tell me that's an invalid password. But anyway, you get the idea. And that's all there is to it. They say on here that claim process will be completed once per account. That means basically if you screw up, you're done. They're not going to give you more than one chance. So please make sure the Bitcoin address that you provide with us is valid and not another My Bitcoin provided one. The claim process can only be completed once per account. They just can't be bothered to do it more than once. Absolutely not. It's too inconvenient for them, apparently, to deal with the claimants. Claims are manually reviewed and will be processed within 48 hours of being filed, is what they're saying. And they say the claim form will remain online for 30 days. So that's what they're saying. People who have filled out a claim have received 49% of their funds back. I am happy to report that I filled out my claim form immediately as soon as I found out about it on the large account that Ed and I have. And I did get 49% back immediately. As soon as I filled out the claim form, it was immediate. I think I did it right away, and I'm pretty sure my claim form was number 6,100 something. So obviously, that tells me a lot of things. Number one, there's many, many, many thousands and thousands of accounts affected. They're probably, and most of them probably did not even bother to do this claim, actually. They might not even know, people don't check their email for 30 days or whatever. They don't even know that this is down. They don't check their My Bitcoin balance every month. They could go months without even remembering to look at it, much less to find out this news. So if they're not on top of it, they might not know this is even happening. My guess is there are probably hundreds of thousands of accounts on mybitcoin.com. Mybitcoin.com was registered in April of 2009. Remember, Bitcoin was invented in actually launched, the Genesis block or whatever, was January 2009. April 2009, mybitcoin.com domain was registered. And I think it was June or July of 2009, mybitcoin.com went online. And so it's like one of the oldest institutions in Bitcoin land, one of the old-time original players. And so therefore, and the other piece of information we know is that when Mt. Gox got hacked, everyone knows there were over 60,000 accounts. And Mt. Gox is a relatively new player compared to mybitcoin.com. So it stands to reason that mybitcoin.com must have had at least twice as many accounts as Mt. Gox. That's my assumption. It had 100,000 or more. 100 to 150,000 accounts is my assumption. However, as you may know, they have had a standing situation. I don't know if it's a policy or a business model or whatever you want to call it, but the standing situation has apparently always been on mybitcoin.com. If you forget your password, you lost your money. Simple as that. There's never been a forgot password function. So if you screwed up and forgot your password, or you think maybe you screwed up and forgot your password, basically if you locked yourself out of your account, there's just no way to retrieve it. For a long time, you were able to send them an email and they were replying, like up until maybe November. Then they stopped having any email correspondence with anyone as far as I know. Then the other thing is they instituted this in-site communication method, this email within the site. So basically you have to be logged on to communicate to them, which is very interesting strategically. Why would you have to be logged on to file a complaint about not being able to log on? Well, maybe because they don't want to hear from people who can't log on. If you can't log on, you can't complain. Simple as that. We only want to hear from people who already have active accounts and are logged on. If you can't log on, you can't communicate. So what people were doing was creating a new account just so they could send them a message. And sometimes they were getting a reply, but in recent months, over the last actually several months, I don't know, at least 3 or 4 months, people were reporting just absolutely getting no reply, no communication at all. And then obviously we know what happened in the infamous day of July 29th. As of something like July 28th, all withdrawals that were claimed to be processed that said, yes, the withdrawal happened, just never happened. And then now, okay, so then the site went down on July 29th, deep, 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 dark, incommunicado hiding. Absolute deep hiding. No communication with anybody. It's not like these people don't know how to communicate. They know how to communicate. They're all over the internet, the forums, the IRC and all that. They know how to communicate, but not a peep, not one sound from these guys. And then, of course, we did episode 33 of the Bitcoin Show where I explained the FBI Cybercrimes Division has been in contact with me, and they're investigating, the situation. They're asking a lot of questions, and they ask that you contact them. If you go to fbi.gov and click contact us, and especially the New York office is who contacted me, and tell them it's the mybitcoin.com is the case that you want to report about if you've been a victim. And so anyway, when I reported that, and then of course the tons of community members formed this IRC chat channel called hashtag Bitcoin-police, and they have been in there 24 hours a day sharing news and tips about this whole incident. They even created a wiki where they can communicate and compile all the information that they were able to come up with, and hashing all this out. Well, all of this happened within that 7-day period, and I'm sure that the My Bitcoin posse got a bit concerned, shall we say, and suddenly, boom, like magic, they reappeared 7 days later and put up a web page and said, oh my gosh, we've been hacked. We've been hacked. Oh my gosh, we were victims. So, and we'll figure out how much money they hacked. And so first they said there was a flaw in the Bitcoin network itself. And then later the story changed and said, oh, no, not that. It's actually that fractions, that's it. Fractions of Bitcoins were shaved off because oh yeah, that's it. We were not getting confirmations. We were actually processing claims on only one confirmation and not more than one. We were only waiting for one confirmation, and all these stories and so on. And also we have done, which by the way, like I don't think anyone who knows anything about Bitcoin technology, not anybody that I've asked. I mean, the top technical experts in Bitcoin believe that that's possible. Especially with one confirmation. If they had said they were doing it with 0 confirmations, maybe, but even then, extremely unlikely. And then to say that half of the money's gone, first of all, that half the money could be gone that way. First of all, that half the money would be live online in live wallets. That's absurd. Nobody who had any sense would do that. And these guys are very technical. They know better than that. To have 100% of the funds live online, or even half the funds live online, nobody who's running an e-wallet would ever think of doing that. And these guys definitely knew better. And then to say that not only all the funds were live online, half of the funds were stolen before we even noticed, and all these funds were stolen by fractions, little tiny fractions of Bitcoins. And then the miracle of all miracles, that when they actually tabulated their bookkeeping, they discovered that the hackers, it's like by divine intervention, the hackers actually stole 51.000000000% of your funds. So by little slivers of Bitcoins, when they added it all up and they did all that tabulation, they came up to, you get 49.000000000% of your money back. And we get, the hackers stole, that's it, the hackers stole 51.0000000% of your money. It's just amazing. What are the chances? What are the odds? Somebody who's really good at statistics, tell me, what are the odds that you could steal thousands of a fraction of Bitcoins randomly over a course of time, however much time that is, and it would actually add up to 51.0000000%. Okay, what a coincidence. I mean, it's just amazing to me. So anyway, basically nobody believes what they're saying. I don't think anybody who has any understanding of anything believes it. I mean, some people are appeased because, let's face it, people are easy to socially engineer. If I say to you, first of all, if the facts are, Bitcoin was doubling and tripling and even quadrupling in value in a span of a week. There's a whole period when Bitcoin value was going up, right? And, when you say you get, you're going to get half of your money back, it seems like, well, okay, at first it's shocking and it's devastating and all that, but then you look back and you go, well, look, I invested this many dollars and now I have Bitcoin that's worth this many. Well, it's not so bad. And people are so easy to just forgive. Forgive and forget. Okay, well, I was robbed, but at least the thieves returned half of the money. What is that? Like, what are people thinking? So anyway, I have been, advocating that obviously people do the claims as fast as possible. I've shown you how to do the thing. They say that the form will be online 30 days. The form is online. I'm still trying to figure out if anybody has received any money back since Thursday, because the last report of an actual refund that I have heard from was Thursday the 11th. It was filed around 10 p.m. on Thursday the 11th, and now today is Friday the 19th. So I'm a bit concerned actually that they have they've kept the form up, but they've actually stopped refunding. I don't know, but wouldn't really be surprising at this point. The other thing is that the balances that seem to be reflected when all the people who have done a claim, and they put in their login ID and password and so on, it gives them a balance. And apparently, this is an old ledger balance. It may be up to 2 or 3 days prior to them shutting it down. So all the funds that were deposited into my Bitcoin in the last 2 or 3 days just don't even show up in that ledger balance. And any withdrawals that they made were spent, and they were deducted from the balance, but they were actually never sent out. So, and also another thing is many people actually have forgotten their password and lost access to their account, over the 2-year period, where that money has just basically been confiscated by MyBitcoin. In effect, they've just kept that money because they lost their password at some point. And another thing, okay, when Mt. Gox was hacked, very interesting thing happened. People are so easy to manipulate. It's just amazing how you can trick people. Mt. Gox was hacked. Of course, MyBitcoin was notified. Like every e-wallet and exchange site, of course, was immediately notified that the public, the passwords and the hashed passwords at least, and the login IDs and email addresses were released and they were published on the internet. So, of course, MyBitcoin had access to that immediately, if not before that. And when they, what's interesting about it is that every user that I have had any contact with, every single user, in fact, several of my friends included, who had an account on MyBitcoin and Mt. Gox, if they used the same password, what happened is MyBitcoin, their money was gone. All right. But they say their money was gone and it was their fault because they used the same password. And that's the easy, on the surface, obvious conclusion. But if you think it through, I always say TIT, think it through, and then think it through further. Think it through, okay? If you're a hacker and you break into a whole list of accounts on MyBitcoin, for example, what is the probability that you would actually go into that account, steal all the money, and then take the extra time to change the password so that nobody can go in? What is the probability? I've asked people this randomly. I've asked all kinds of hackers and geeks and everybody, if a hacker went in and did that and stole your funds, what are the chances that they would actually take the extra time to change your password on you so you couldn't get in? First of all, first question. Most people say very, very slim to none, 5%, 10%. I've never had anybody say more than like 20% chance that anyone would ever do that. It's just too time consuming. Well, guess what? You do your own research. You tell me, if you had the same password on Mt. Gox and MyBitcoin, when Mt. Gox got hacked and you lost access to your MyBitcoin account, what happened? Did you go and log in and it said invalid password? Or did you go and log in and it said your funds had been spent? Because I'll tell you what, from my experience and my communication, talking to my people, every single person, 100% of those people, their password had been changed. My Bitcoin password had been changed. Who changed it? You really think 100% of the hackers who hacked 100% of the accounts took the time to change the password? Okay, not likely. Nothing at mybitcoin.com adds up, including their own ledger numbers. I mean, that's, people believe that those numbers were pulled out of thin air. Absolutely pulled out of thin air. Everything they say is pulled out of thin air. I have emails from Tom Williams saying that he is in New Zealand and blah, 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 all kinds of things that we know for a fact are not true. So basically nothing that has ever come from mybitcoin.com has been true. The early days, they had a thing on their website, an FAQ, how do we offer this service for free? And they said, and the FAQ used to say, we offer this service because of text ads. That's it. Yeah, we have like little text ads. It wasn't even Google AdWords. It was just their own little text ad that they sold, which was interesting because they sold little text ads for all the other sites that are affiliated with MyBitcoins, like the same posse that own MyBitcoin. But anyway, they claim that these little text ads on the login screen is what paid for all the infrastructure and operation of mybitcoin.com. Of course, anyone with any sense knows that no, running a site like mybitcoin.com is not cheap. I mean, if you do it at all, much less if you do it right, there's a lot of expense involved. It's not nothing. It's a lot of money. So, most people could, buy a house for what it costs to run a site like this. So the point is, they never charged anything, and they claimed that they were actually running it from the proceeds of these little text ads. Well, I think what happened is people realized that that is absolutely absurd. There's no way, for the pennies that you would get for a text ad, there's no way that you could actually run a site like this. So several months ago, they just took that off the FAQ, and they just took off, there are no text ads, and they never even claimed that that was supporting them. I think they recognized the absurdity in what they were saying, and people were seeing through it. So as people have started to see through their lies, they change their story. They change their story. They change their tune. And as you can see, from beginning to end, from the inception of mybitcoin.com, emails that I received from them in November saying, that they have a team of, over 30 years of combined experience in online transaction processing, and we're based in New Zealand, and blah, 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 blah. I have all those emails, that my Bitcoin posse of little hackers sent to me. And, in which they use the same phraseology in many other places, connecting many other pseudonyms that they go by and many other websites that they operate. And, the Bitcoin police, if you look at their wiki, they found out a lot of information. Not nearly as much as I know and other key people know, but the Bitcoin police of just the public posse, or the public, I guess you'd say vigilantes, vigilante impromptu investigators have discovered a massive amount of information about these little hacker boys who started this. And they think they're very smart, and they've made a life of crime early on or whatever, and they think that they can just get away with it, and the crime's just getting bigger and bigger and bigger, but they've gone too far. They've gone too far. My guess is we're talking about hundreds of thousands of accounts, and definitely in the millions of dollars. People claiming that my account was the largest account, I'm not so sure that's even true. People who have a large amount of Bitcoins in mybitcoin.com are probably embarrassed. I was embarrassed. I was absolutely embarrassed to admit that I had trusted these clowns with that much money. It really, really was stupid, and of course, in hindsight's 2020. But I'm sure anybody else who had that much or more is not going to come forward and say, yeah, guess what? I'm an idiot too. Why? What's the point? Why would they do that? People who are claiming they have the second largest account, that's not, I don't believe it, not for a second. I'm sure there are a lot of other large accounts on there, not just ours. And a lot of people had a lot of money on there, and they're just like going, oh, well, what are you going to do? You're just feeling defeated, and what are they supposed to do? What are they going to do? Well, call the FBI, I guess, but, they're very smart. Actually, they're very, very shrewd to suddenly claim, oh man, we should have said it was like the Polish exchange. Yeah, that's it. We accidentally wiped out the wallets. No. Let's do Mt. Gox, like Mt. Gox. We were hacked. That's right. Hackers hacked us. That's what it is. Hackers hacked us. And yeah, they got a percentage of the money, and we'll figure out later how much they got, and then we'll do a claim form. Yeah, we'll do a claim form like Mt. Gox did, Okay, whatever. To me, the whole entire thing is a sham. The reason I wanted to show you how to do this claim, though, is just in case, they're still going to give you 49% of their money back. So I suggest that you do file a claim, and I suggest that you let me know if you got your money back. And even more importantly, let me know if you did not get your money back. If you filled out a claim form, and it's been more than 48 hours from the time you filled out your claim form, I want you to email me. Send an email to send it actually to bitcoin@onlyoneTV.com. Bitcoin@onlyoneTV.com, and let me know that you filled out a claim form, and 48 hours later you did not get your money back. I want to know about it. I want to know exactly how many people that happened to, and we're going to talk about that. We're not going to just get 49% of what is ours and let thieves steal 51% of what is ours. And I'm not talking about my money. I'm talking about your money, the community's money. Look at, we're going to let people get away with this? Is this what Bitcoin is about? We're going to let thieves steal 51% of the people's money and then just say, oh, well, and, at least I got that back. No. That will not do. That will not do. So let me take a moment really quick to thank the sponsors, because obviously if it weren't for our sponsors, we wouldn't be able to bring you the news and the events and happenings in Bitcoin land. But Mt. Gox is actually the The number one exchange site, obviously the largest online exchange service for Bitcoins in the world. Vast majority market share, something like 90% still. In spite of everything they've been through, they are resilient. They're here to stay for the long term. Very, very honest, trustworthy guys. And now they're set up for euros and British pounds, Australian dollars, Canadian dollars, all these foreign currencies. The euro is coming now that they've acquired Bitomat, as you know. So they'll have a European exchange in euros there. The Mt. Gox mobile app, we've already interviewed Andrew Lee and talked all about this Mt. Gox mobile app, which we're going to be talking about in future episodes here in a minute. All kinds of new stuff coming on that front, but it allows you to use Bitcoins on the go from your mobile phone or any Android device, or even a jailbroken iPhone device. And YubiKey USB. Is that a tongue twister? YubiKey USB security device. It gives you two-factor authentication, which is really, really, really important because, as I've pointed out before, if you're a non-technical person, which let's face it, most people are not technical enough to really be trusted with this, they're handling their Bitcoins on their wallet file. Even super, super technical people have lost a lot of Bitcoins because they, make one false step and they accidentally wipe out their Bitcoin. So the advantage to using Mt. Gox with the YubiKey is that the wallet file is never, ever on your device. It's never on your computer. Mt. Gox has got it, okay? And they can be trusted because they have a huge profit incentive. They're very, very profitable. They're making money, and I encourage you to check that out too. What you want in an exchange or an e-wallet service is you want somebody who has a face and a name, and you've seen them on my show, and they put their face out there and their name and their address, and you know who they are, first of all. Secondly, they are profitable. If they're profitable, they have an incentive to stay around, to stay in business, to invest in security, and to be here. Not just to take the coins and run and say, oh, we were hacked, we might give you half of it back. No. Or just, oops, we wiped out all your money. Sorry. Sorry, my bad. Lost all your money. They have a profit motive to stay around. But the other thing, besides the fact that your wallet is not on your machine, it's trusted behind their site, is the YubiKey USB two-factor authentication. What that means is you get a little teeny tiny little fob that is on your keychain, literally a physical thing on your keychain, and you have to plug it into a USB port in order to log on. I mean, at first it just sounds cool and clever, but if you think about it, the problem with logging onto websites any website, is these keyboard capture viruses. People don't understand. These keyboard capture viruses actually steal every letter you type on the screen. So they will steal your password to Mt. Gox or anything else. But the YubiKey gives you a password that's only good for 1 or 2 seconds. So if that keyboard capture thing captures the password, it's useless. So it actually doesn't matter how many viruses you have on your machine, you can still securely use Mt. Gox with a YubiKey, even if you used a public kiosk at the lobby of the hotel and it's full of viruses and keyboard capture log, it won't be able to do anything because it can't log onto your account again. That password's only good for a couple seconds. So Mt. Gox, we really thank them obviously for their support and their service to the Bitcoin community. And BitPay. BitPay is the new kid on the block when it comes to transaction processing. They are a merchant processor for Bitcoin. So if you have a website, whether it's a real sophisticated website where you've already got some sort of advanced shopping cart integration built in, BitPay integrates with that. Or you could just be somebody who's set up a blog on WordPress or something and you want to sell t-shirts and mugs or some kind of products or something, or services, whatever it may be, even tickets to events. You can actually just plug in this widget, and it's literally, I can do it. I did it on a previous episode, as you may have seen. You literally just copy this little HTML and just paste it right into any page, and now you have an item with a Pay with Bitcoin checkout button. It's basically like Google Checkout or PayPal Checkout or something like that, but it's specific to Bitcoin. They accept Bitcoin and only Bitcoin. Now, they can pay the merchant in US dollars or Bitcoin. It's up to you. They can actually convert it to dollars for you. But from the customer, this button accepts Bitcoin only. So you have to use another type of process if you want other than Bitcoin. You can still use it in conjunction and have a couple buttons. You could have Google Checkout, PayPal, and Bitcoin. Or in my case, it's Bitcoin only. Bitcoin or forget it. We're not going backwards. So, but they allow you to accept payments in Bitcoin, and super simple, easy to integrate with your website. It even generates QR codes so that you can have a QR code on the screen. Obviously you can do it through your phone. I mean, anything. You can even have a printed, menu or some sort of a printed thing and laminated. If you're in a brick and mortar store, you could even have like little price tags on every item in the shelf of a physical brick and mortar boutique. And you could just walk around with your phone and go beep and scan every QR code of the things you want and check out with paying with Bitcoin, and boom, an order is printed at the cashier. So it could be used in retail, brick and mortar point of sale. It could be used in restaurants where the menu, literally the physical menu has QR codes, and you could actually order with your phone or your iDevice or whatever, and literally place your order and then pay with Bitcoin. So your order is placed and paid for and everything without even having the server come to your table. I mean, there's so many things. Not to mention, obviously, everything you can do online, all kinds of web commerce. So it's a brilliant, brilliant tool, very innovative, and so easy to use, even I can use it. So we thank BitPay. By the way, it's called BitPay, but it's bit-pay, bit-pay.com, BitPay. And Mezzi Grill. We love Mezzi Grill. Everybody knows Mezzi Grill. They've gotten more publicity than any other restaurant on planet Earth, I think. Because why? Because they're the world's first brick and mortar restaurant, if there is any other kind. They're the world's first restaurant that accepts Bitcoin. So they're right here in Manhattan, and our friend Marwan owns Mezzi Grill, and we love him to death. He's been a guest on the show, and in addition to that, it's our favorite restaurant. That's how we met him. It's one of our favorite places to go in the city. Super affordable, super healthy, delicious food. You will not leave hungry, and you won't leave broke. I mean, it's really affordable. For Manhattan pricing, it's insane. It's so cheap and really, really healthy. The ingredients are as organic and locally grown and all that as he can possibly find. And the food is absolutely delicious. They not only accept Bitcoin and have breakfast, lunch, and dinner open 7 days a week, now they actually sell Bitcoin. You can go in there, give them cash, and buy Bitcoin. Now there's a limit. It's only $1,000 per day per person. Like, how much do you need? Come on. $1,000 a day per person, 6% of the fees. The limit is not negotiable. The fees are not negotiable. Don't try and negotiate it. This is a retail point of sale. If you think they should, do better on the rates or the fees or the, whatever, and it's also based on Mt. Gox's last price. So if you want to negotiate, then go somewhere else. Go to BTC near me or something. But if you just want a convenient thing and you want to go in and buy Bitcoin, you can do it 7 days a week, every hour that they're open. But don't bother them with trying to negotiate a better rate. If you think a better rate should be provided, then you open your own retail establishment and you sell Bitcoin across the street. There's a lot of room for competition, but we give them all the credit for being the first restaurant to accept Bitcoin and the first brick and mortar retail store that we know of that actually sells Bitcoin 7 days a week, long, long hours every day. They're only 3 blocks south of Columbus Circle. So when you're in Manhattan, if you live here, you're visiting, you go to Columbus Circle, very famous landmark, southwest corner of Central Park, and literally 3 short blocks south on the left-hand side, Mezzi Grill, M-E-Z-E grill.com to check out their menu. And Cablesaurus.com. Cablesaurus is a new sponsor. They have quality, fast shipping. They specialize in mining gear for the gamers and PC supplies, shipped directly from the U.S. wherever you are, with free shipping available on most items. They have all sorts of things like PCIe extender cables in a variety of sizes, GPU graphics cards, and PSU power supplies, dummy plugs, riser converter cards, dual PSU cables, watt meters, all sorts of things, mining gear. So you want to get into mining and you want to get your gear, support somebody who accepts Bitcoin. Cablesaurus.com is what it's called. They have thousands of satisfied customers in the Bitcoin community, and they've been accepting Bitcoin payments as well as dollars. So Cablesaurus, it's like Dinosaurus, it's cable, C-A-B-L-E, S-A-U-R-U-S.com, Cablesaurus. We thank them very much for supporting the community, Only One TV, and the Bitcoin Show. And bitbrew.net. This is, and by the way, it's .net, not .com. It's bitbrew, B-I-T-B-R-E-W.net. Bitbrew is Ed's favorite coffee. It's actually everybody's favorite coffee around here. Ed's like a coffee connoisseur, and he ordered some of this a long time ago, and they actually sent him more than he ordered. They were very, very sweet, and he's totally hooked on it. All of us are. This is the only thing we drink. This is the official coffee of Only One TV. And that was before they became a sponsor, okay? Make it clear. This has always been the official coffee of Only One TV. And now they're a sponsor, so we really, really welcome them. We love it when we have a product or a service that we are in love with, and then they want to be a sponsor. We love that because it's easy. I can just tell you the truth, which I do anyway. But they have all kinds of coffee. They're roasted to order, to guarantee the freshest product possible. They have organic and fair trade coffees, as well as rare and exotic high-end varieties like Jamaican Blue Mountain, not a blend, Darwinian Delight from the Galapagos Island Estate. Oh my gosh, this is like really exotic, right? It's like coffee can be like wine or something. You can be a real coffee connoisseur. Whole bean or ground to order. They ship internationally at a flat rate. Everything is sold exclusively for Bitcoins, and they use static Bitcoin pricing. So that's really cool, really cool. Give them a lot of credit for that. So thank all of our sponsors, and as always, that's basically an update for now on the My Bitcoin claim process. Get your claim in. If you have not received your 49% of your money back from these people after it's been 48 hours, I want you to email me again, bitcoin@onlyonetv.com, all spelled out, bitcoin@onlyonetv.com, and let me hear from you. I really want to know what's going on with this. That's how I can gather information and share it with the community. Also, obviously, the Bitcoin conference is happening right now. It's starting today. It's really exciting. People are getting in like 2 days early. People were arriving Wednesday, and we're going out and meeting and having drinks and stuff, and people were out last night. And today's the official beginning of it. They had a lot of people were crepes in Brooklyn this morning in Dumbo, and I heard there was a big posse there. There's a big posse last night at Hudson Eatery, and now everyone's arriving around noon today, which is like right now in 2 minutes. So I can hear the buzz. People are arriving in the studio, and we're going to start doing studio tours right now. And we're really, really psyched because this is the Bitcoin conference, the world's first Bitcoin conference and World Expo 2011 NYC. And we got some really cool T-shirts made. So if you're here, you'll see that they're going to be on sale at the conference on Saturday. They're really slick. I'm so happy with the design of it. They're really cool. And you'll actually be able to, afterwards on the bitcoinconference.com site, don't lose that URL, bitcoinconference.com, because even after the conference, during the conference, we're going to put links up there to the app. There's already a link to the iPhone and smartphone app that's free. So you can see a lot of the media and the videos and the audios and stuff from the conference will be accumulated there. And in addition to that, we are going to, after the conference, we're going to have lots more media there, links and stuff, and lots of announcements about future huge things to come, you'll see. And what else? Products, like these T-shirts. You'll be able to order it. Even if you weren't here, you can say you were here. You were here in spirit anyway, you saw it on video. So you can buy one of these T-shirts, and we're not trying to make money on the T-shirts, we're just trying to cover the cost and so forth, but so for the same price as they are at the conference, plus a little bit for the shipping, we're going to take orders online, so you'll be able to actually buy the T-shirts online as well with Bitcoin. Probably BitPay, of course. How else, right? So it'll be just a simple little button you'll click, and you can order T-shirts in a variety of sizes, and you'll see the design on there. It's so cool. So much is exciting happening, and the conference is, I just know already, it's a fantastic success. And the success, as I've said in the forum, the success is not measured by the number of people. I've been to conferences with 250,000 people who are just boring. Well, not 250,000 except Comdex, but you could go to a conference with 23,000 people and have it like the most boring experience you ever had in your life. But we could have a conference with however many people are going to be here. I don't really care. I don't care if it's 100 or 200 or 2,000. It doesn't matter. What matters is the quality of the minds all over the planet that are coming together. These Bitcoin minds are just like, and I'm not saying minds with a D. These minds are unbelievable. Oh my God, it so turns me on. I love talking to these smart people. I just love it. And the conversations that come out of it, We are in heaven. Everyone is so excited. They're just like a classroom full of little kids who were just told they're being taken to Disneyland. We're so psyched. It's going to be hot. And I happen to be privy to several announcements that I know are going to be made tomorrow morning, and it's so exciting. A lot of press are going to be there. And so anyway, be watching streaming on onlyoneTV.com, and I've asked everybody who's coming, bring your own camcorder, video. I don't care if it's a VHS, whatever you got, your camera phones, these little Evos and stuff that have 720p and all. I want everybody recording everything. I want everybody streaming everything, and I want it all recorded. We're going to put it, make sure that you get with Manny at onlyoneTV.com, and get that media and the links to all that media to Manny so he can send it to the guys who are developing the app, so we can funnel all that media available so it's in the app, and also so that it's linked to the bitcoinconference.com site. So we'll have it all there. And of course, we're going to be having it all on Only One TV as well. So when you go to onlyoneTV.com, you'll click the live button. You'll see the live streaming. We're going to be basically streaming the whole entire conference the whole time. So anyway, until next time, thanks for joining us on The Bitcoin Show. See you soon. The market leader Bitcoin exchange site, and we're pretty familiar with that. So I'm going to just show you how to create, because in order to do your claim over here, you need a Bitcoin address. So if you don't have one and you're non-technical, I'm going to show you how to actually create one. If you go to vbanko, which by the way is V like Victor, I-B-A-N-K-O, vibanko.com. All right, that's what this is. Now you see there's a login at the top, but it's super simple. You can actually just go down here to register, and I'm going to use the name My Bitcoin Claim at I'm creating a totally temporary email account just for demonstration purposes. Okay, Mailinator, I don't recommend you use that. And then a password, obviously. You want to use a really long, secure password that doesn't spell anything, and the number to do is click that, and then you're going to go to this thing. It's called, let me zoom in a little bit so you can see it better. It just says My Bitcoin Claim Form. And as you can see, it only asks for three things: username, password, and Bitcoin address. All right, so again, this is for my non-technical people. If you're already a technical and you're whatever, you know how to do this yourself. But you want to get your Bitcoins out of mybitcoin.com and you're not sure where to put them. Here's what I'm suggesting. There's a couple different sites. One is a fairly new e-wallet site called vbanko. I'll switch over to that and you can see it. vbanko is a trusted, I trust them for, if it's, as long as it's reasonable, like somewhere between pocket change that you would carry around and I don't know, maybe less than a month's income, I guess. Anyway, somewhere in there, I would say definitely they're trustworthy for at least that much. So vbanko is one site, and then Mt. Gox. Obviously, Mt. Gox is the people know what's going on with mybitcoin.com, and after 7 days of going into deep dark hiding and absolutely incommunicado, they suddenly reappeared with a website explaining that, oh my gosh, we've been hacked. So, be that as it may, they have offered to return 49%, precisely 49% of your Bitcoins. But what you have to do is go and fill out a claim form. So, in this episode, I want to actually go through this process because it's very important that you do this. People are getting back 49% of their Bitcoin about 24 hours after they fill out this claim form. So I just want to do a real quick episode to teach you how to do this. It's very simple. What you do is go to mybitcoin.com, and as you can see on my screen here, mybitcoin.com now has a link at the top. If you want to show my screen, it says file your claims here. Okay, the top link says file your claims here, and if you see it right here, and all yours are not dates or anything like that. And actually, the email address goes in the bottom, and the username goes in the top. Okay, my Bitcoin claim, and I put in a password, a long secure password, and this email address, and I hit register. And there it is. Never save passwords in your browser. You know better. use KeePassX. Look at the episode we've done in the past about KeePassX and use long, secure passwords. If you can remember your password, it's not a password, okay? Good, secure passwords cannot be remembered. All right, so anyway, basically that's it. You're registered. You see how easy that was? I literally put in a login name and a password and an email address, and I'm in. It says here, successfully registered. You see over here is my name on the left, my username. And then I scroll down, and it says my balance, 0, of course. And then I have a unique deposit address. And withdraw is simply putting in an address and amount and hitting send. I mean, it couldn't be easier. So literally, if I double-click on that unique deposit address, they call it, and I hit copy, right-click on it and hit copy, and I go over here to the claim. Today's episode of The Bitcoin Show is brought to you by Mt. Gox, mtgox.com, and BitPay, bit-pay.com, and Meze Grill, M-E-Z-E grill.com, and cablesaurus.com, and bitbrew.net. Hey gang, and welcome to the Bitcoin Show, episode 36. So glad you're here. Today we're going to talk about this ongoing drama of mybitcoin.com.